This is GV Shivakumar again, and first I like to thanks everyone for watching my videos, supporting me by subscribing my channels, giving likes, and forwarding my videos to your friends. If those for the good videos, thanks for the continuous support. So as a part of the of this today's topic video, so I like to discuss about the difference between software as a service and then IaaS and PaaS. Okay, so these are the different types of cloud versions of services, right? Actually, I mean, offered by the industry standards. So let's move on to the page, right? So cloud computing, right, has now become essential to the optimization of enterprise technology, right? When exploring your options, you will see antonyms, that is IaaS, PaaS, and then SaaS, software as a service, and the list goes on, right? These might just look like a bunch of random letters to you or anyone new to the cloud services, but they are called as a service models. Okay, so I have already explained this IaaS, PaaS, and then SaaS in my earlier videos on SAP S4 HANA. So actually, compared to the earlier old versions of say on-premise works, right? On-premise server setup and everything, client server technology, then on-premise, all these things actually are become a tradition. I think it's a classical thing, and now I can say it's a old one. And nowadays, actually, we are migrating to the cloud-based technologies. And cloud actually say if coming to the cloud, actually we are not owning the system hardware requirements, or we are not having a dedicated I can say system administration or cloud administrators in our company. Instead of that, we are paying money for the cloud service provider, say for example Google service provider or any service provider who can have give rent to the end client, and actually the end client can pay for the money for the consumption they are doing. They are allocated a dedicated cloud number or cloud network number, so that these are called, actually I can say, again it is it can say it's a shared public cloud or a private cloud, right? Private cloud in the sense the whole private will be whole cloud will be an I mean owned, I mean, by giving rent you can use the entire cloud. And the shared public cloud is nothing but many client can handle, or many end users can handle the single cloud, and the cloud service can be segregated to different end users, and there is only one admin or one service provider which is giving I mean whom they are giving rental accommodation to the many I mean end users, or I can say the many different clients. So the cost of handling the services is very less. You need to just pay for the space, and all the software upgradation and then patch updation, any development or anything can be maintained by the service provider, and the service provider will have a dedicated administration team. They can monitor, they can do whatever thing you want based on your request, ticket creation or whatever it may be, they can do for you, okay, on your behalf. So there is the cost of IT management and everything, right? The hardware and software management for all the things can be somehow reduced, right, in coming days. So this is very this can be very useful for for a say small companies who are not interested to invest more on the IT hardwares and softwares, right? So instead of going for the own I mean own on-premise server networks and everything, actually they can buy the cloud. So it is very less cost, and all the management will be taken by the admin activities can be taken by the service provider, so that resource cost also reduced. And all whenever they require any new change of functionality, they can create a ticket and or mail them. Based on that, they will himself, the service provider, can do the required change. Say for example, say many I mean nowadays actually SAP is doing this service application, the cloud application services to the end their customer, their end customers, right? So that is what the exact example. If you consider moving to the cloud, there are three main types of cloud computing to be considered in this part, right? IaaS and PaaS and SaaS. So traditional companies use an on-premise model, a private cloud in which your hardware is built into your own office. Okay, this model costs the most and requires most internal management, but three models mentioned above have slowly taken over. We are sure that you are definitely wonder what all these standards mean, stands, or what name stands for. So let's go deep into that. Okay, what is IaaS? Okay, infrastructure as a service. That is the first thing. IaaS. It's a basic service in which your cloud service provider owns and manages the hardware, right? Whatever hardware they are giving, that is owned by them, that your software is only running on it. Okay, meaning that you are able to rent IT infrastructure like servers or virtual machines on a pay as you go for a go basis. Okay, as a go basis, so there is no owning of hardware requirements. With this option, your internal IT team must continue to manage your applications and systems, right? But will not have to deal with the upkeep of physical infrastructures or modifications, enhancement, right? So while your provider will supply a basic compute storage and networking infrastructure with a hypervisor or supervisor, you can use a user will, I mean you as a user will have to install, manage and configure your own operating systems. Okay, and infrastructure as a service require little commitment to your cloud service provider and allows you the flexibility to set up your systems in a way that is personal to your business, right? If you have any internal resources that is to be managed in your entire network. And what is PaaS? That is, PaaS nothing but a platform as a service. So it's similar to the infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Okay, the fact that your cloud service provider supplies your infrastructure, okay, but they also provide your database and operating systems. Okay, it is a supply on demand environment for developing, testing, delivering and managing software applications, and is designed to avoid the expenses of buying and managing software licenses and other resources. And platform as a service PaaS also includes, sorry, so sorry to disturb. Actually, it is I mean, in mid actually I got a call. Okay, so we are discussing about PaaS, nothing but a platform as a service. It is similar to the infrastructure as a service. Okay, and in fact, I mean, actually, in fact, that you are close to the cloud service provider supplies your infrastructure, but they also provide your database and operating systems. Okay, it is supply on demand environment for developing, testing, delivering, and managing softwares. I mean, software applications, and designed to avoid the expenses of buying and managing software licenses and other resources. Platform as a service simply PaaS also includes servers, storage, networking, and middleware development tools. Okay, so business intelligence, nothing but BI services, data management systems, and more than that, which are all accessible over a secure internet connection on a pay as you go basis. Okay, same like a IaaS. PaaS is mainly used by the developers to design their own unique applications without the commitment to buying their own infrastructure or having to start from scratch. Saving time in the long run is possible. It is often used to quickly create web or mobile applications while while avoiding managing software updates or security patches. PaaS allows for better connectivity between teams, allowing users from multiple locations to access and collaborate on application development. Okay, this is a application on PaaS. And what is SaaS? Software as a service provider is when a cloud service provider supplies an entire application stack. Okay, it's a complete application stack can be shared with the end customer who is paying the rent for the rent. The users are able to log in and use the application running on the service providers on the on the providers infrastructure. Okay, the user can able to log in and use application running on the service providers infrastructure. Okay, SaaS usually runs on a monthly subscriptions. I mean the monthly subscription payment model with access through the internet. So including services such as maintenance, compliance, security. Okay, this option gives you the security of knowing that your applications and systems are in a good hands with a little input from you. So there is no big dependence from you. Okay, everything is owned by the service provider. Okay, because of SaaS, it is an out of box solution. This option uh, is best for the companies who lack the expertise of how to develop or run applications on their own and put full responsibility on the provider. SaaS help you to reduce cost by cancelling the need of an internal IT team to handle the hosting, management, and maintenance of software applications and underlying infrastructure. Hope you understand the difference, right? The PaaS is mainly used for the developers. In case of PaaS, it is mainly used by the developers to design their own unique applications, their own company applications without commitment to buying their own infrastructure or having to start from scratch, saving time in the long run. Okay, it is often used to quickly create web or mobile applications while avoiding managing software updates or security patches. PaaS allows for better connectivity between teams, allowing users from multiple locations to access and collaborate on application development. This is a big difference actually you are seeing, right, between the SaaS and the PaaS thing. So you can see these things. So this is about the SaaS and this is a PaaS. So this particular area will differentiate all these things. Okay. And now let's move on to the I can say on which applications or which part of the project management. This three different cloud networks are handled in comparison with the on-premise. So this dark yellow boxes include service providers managers. So that is responsible for the service provider, and the light or I can say sea blue boxes indicates self-managed activities. Okay, when coming to on-premise, we have applications, data, runtime, middleware, operating systems, virtualization, hypervisor, servers, storage, and physical network. Everything in scope of on-premise systems only. Okay, so that is what actually is a self-managed network or service that one own company can maintain all the activities, starting from application management to the physical network management. One own company will have that entire architecture. There is no dependence or any contact with the cloud service providers. And when coming to IaaS first, okay, so is nothing but I can say information as a service, right, or infrastructure as a service, whatever it may be. So the applications, data, runtime, middleware, and OS are the part of the self-managed activities, and virtualization, hypervisor, servers, storage, physical network will come into the scope of service provider managers or managers service provider scope, simply called. So that is what I differentiated light blue or sea blue color as a self-managed and dark blue color as a service provider scope. Okay, and when coming to the PaaS, platform as a service, we have only two blocks which is related to the self-managed service. Okay, application and data are the part of the self-managed application or self-managed scope of activities. Rest of the other activities, that is runtime, middleware, or rest of the parameters, that is runtime, middleware, operating systems, virtualization, hypervisor, server, storage, physical network. So everything part of the service provided, and so-called actually this is the facility given by the for the especially for the software developers. This part, that is PaaS, is especially for the software developers, and in case of IaaS, information as service, it is specific for the IT administrator. So this is here having we are having more control on the self-managed part, and it is a middle one. PaaS is for software developers and having middle level control. And when coming to SaaS, software as a service, entire activities or entire parameters or whatever it may be related to the cloud can be totally managed by the service provider, and there is no self-managed performance or parameters is maintained. Okay, that should be considered. So this is just an example against the on-premise. Okay, on-premise where all activities or everything is owned by the self-managed so-called companies, and I can say it is an internal or internet kind of fact. I cannot say it's a internet, even though it is internet, but all the things are managed by the one particular client company, and this SaaS is totally managed by the service provider, cloud service provider. It's just an opposite from the on-premise. So here actually if you see in SaaS, application, data, runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, hypervisor, servers, storage, and physical network, everything will be handled by the service provider. And this kind of architecture or cloud network is suitable for the end user. Means only the application transaction run can be done, and all the administration activities, development, and IT administration taken care by the service provider. This is the main difference between the three things. Say in IaaS, information as service, it is suitable for the IT administrator having more control, and PaaS is a middle level control only suitable for the development purpose or a software developer. And in case of SaaS, is having less control for the one company, client company, and more control for the I can say service provider, and this is suitable only for the end user. So no development, no cloud management, cloud network management, everything, patch update, everything, or any update or any service or any support can be handled by the completely by the service cloud service provider. This is so that is what I mentioned as a less control. This, I think this diagram will help you or support you to understand what is on premise, what is IaaS, what is a PaaS, what is a SaaS. I hope I understood. Everyone can understood this difference, right? So now moving on to the next slide. So which service now you can choose? Okay, after discussing on the types of network, so now you come to conclusion which service to you should opt based on your cost, your resource network, or the resource to be hired. So the total cost, return on investment, everything matters. We select IT, architecture, right? So before going to any client or many IT vendors, right? So there are benefits to each and every one of these options, right? Now this four options, but ultimately the service you can choose depends on your budget, security of data that it should be maintained, and available infrastructure and IT staff availability, everything. When coming to IaaS, information as a service or infrastructure as a service, it is best for large organization looking for the hybrid cloud environment with existing software license and large number of IT staffs on hand. Companies who want to migrate existing workloads to the clouds also benefit with this model. Okay. While the vendors manage the infrastructure, the customer must manage applications, data, etc. Okay, this is a difference. This model is scalable, flexible, and customizable. Okay, with a low cost but much more effort. The main focus is to migrating to the cloud. Okay, that is important. And when it comes to the second option, as platform as a service, it is the best for organization with a development ops team, development operation team that want to create their own unique cloud native applications based on the industry needs, typically used by the large organizations. If you want to focus on developing and are not on managing your infrastructure, this is a great option. Okay, while cost can be unpredictable, so you cannot here actually you cannot rely on the cost. Okay, it is unpredictable. So Paas is usually scalable and reliable for test environments. Okay, and the main focus is to build application on the cloud. So it is suitable for the DevOps cloud, I mean develop community. And next coming to the SaaS is the best for the organization who want to replace a type of business software. So thus undergoing a large project such as a migration, right? And small organization with little to no IoT staff are most likely to use this model. If you want to full control over your systems and applications, then this is not the model for you, suitable for you. Your vendor will manage all the infrastructure and software, taking care of all installations and upgrades. While you will not have a direct access to your resources, if you work with a great cloud service providers, you will be able to submit help desk tickets, requesting changes as already told, and promoting needs to keep you on track. Okay. So whatever development required, you need to raise a ticket. Based on that, the service provider can work and complete the work, and you can go for an application work, transactional level application. I mean applications. You can work on that. And I mean that is what is suitable for suitable for end customer. Subscriptions based on the model is a plus for any organization trying to organize their budget because this makes you pay completely predictable at a set rate per month. Okay, the main focus is the consumption of these cloud services with the things like enterprise resource planning, ERP, customer relationship management, CRM, and a team of collaboration. So you need to completely depend on the service provider or a vendor.